Vina. Go on, give me some of that Vina. Girl, go on, shake that Vina. Back it up like Vina. No. I know that don't make sense. I know it don't make sense. But let's go ahead and get started with this video, okay?
So let me get this straight. It's 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 41, what's supposed to be the biggest PLE of the year. The biggest PLE ever, according to Triple H. That's what he was calling it last year, a year in advance, right? And it's April 7th. So last year, let's go back a year. April 7th last year, you had Mania 40, Night 2. Amazing night, amazing cameos, great finish, great opening, great matches throughout. All the stories leading up, 2 weeks before last year's Mania, you were getting the iconic beatdown in the ring with The Rock and Cody. Every single week leading up, you were getting Roman, Rock, Cody, Roman, showing up every week or every other week, building this amazing feud, and every other feud was hitting on all cylinders, you know what I mean? The worst thing you would get is an average story last year. That's the worst thing you had. And now you fast forward to now, and you have Ivar in the War Raiders versus the New Day. You have a garbage women's match for the triple threat, the triple threat for the world championship. That the story makes no sense. It has a poor build, and it absolutely is ridiculous. You have a fatal four-way with Bron Breakker and a bunch of jobbers that no one cares about who have won and done nothing in WWE, and somehow they're in a fatal four-way match. They've done nothing over the last year, but they're in the match. And you have a meaningless women's Intercontinental Championship match, and this episode was so bad that I had to shut it off an hour before it was done. 2 weeks before WrestleMania, and I'm shutting a Raw off an hour before it is finished. Just think about that for a second. And don't get me wrong, later in this video, I will break down whatever segments I didn't watch live because I'll just check them back as the time I'm editing this video. But the fact is, this Raw is an embarrassment. There is no reason that I should ever have to shut a episode of WWE television off 2 weeks before the biggest PLE of the year. That means that you are doing a terrible job at building stories, building feuds, gutting promos, and also building engaging feuds, and also making sure that the show is entertaining week to week and keeping us engaged. Last year, they had no problem keeping us engaged, and now look. Why else could you possibly lose over 2 or 3 million viewers consistently in 2 months on Netflix?
All right, since CJAX is showing January and February, I want to show y'all March. So if you look at March 17th, right, it pretty much done, I got to scroll down. Give it a minute. And I got some screenshots to show you. So this is March. So we got 3rd, 10th, 17th. And I'll show April in a minute, but I just want to show this. Look at the 3rd, 3.1, 10th, 3 mil, and the 17th, 3.1 again. So again, that's globally views. Now, if you want to look at hourly views, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty much back up to 3, and they say that is because of John Cena. But if that's the case, then fine, But let's look at April real quick. All right, so the 24th and the 31st is all we got for the updates. But basically, the 24th got 3 mil, and the 31st got back down to 2.9 mil. And I think it's because John Cena wasn't there. No. John Cena was there, right? Dang it. If John Cena was there, then why did it got back down to 2.9? But dang, that's weird. Wow. Was John Cena there? Let me check. So this video got uploaded on March 31st, right? And this video got 4.2 million views. So wait, hold on. So basically, even if John Cena is there, they can't even get above 3 mil. I mean, this bro, what the fuck? Even when John Cena is there, they can't get over 3 mil? What the hell? And that's one of the biggest segments of them all. It got 4 million on YouTube. And it got, damn, and globally it's 2.9 million on March the 31st? Huh? Wow. So even if John Cena is there, they can't even get it up to above 3. Damn. Wow. So what's the point of having John Cena there if you can't even get it back up to 3 mil? What's the point then? I mean, that was one of the greatest segments ever. Got 4 mil. And globally, it got back down to 2.9. Even while John Cena is there. Hey, man, y'all should talk about that in the comment box. Y'all should definitely talk about that. Think about it. The segment with John Cena and Cody Rhodes got 4.2, 4.2 million, right? Views. And 122K likes. And with that segment alone, that got more views than globally or what people were watching that day of Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, like that, like if anything should get below 3 million views, it should be this Monday Night Raw. But goddamn, like, whoa, like you have John Cena there and you can't even get it back up to 3 mil? Wow. Yeah. Even while John Cena is there, they can't even get up to 3 million. But this video alone got 4.2 million. Yeah, it's over for Raw, man. It's over for Raw. I mean, even while John Cena is there, they can't even get it up to 3 mil. It's over. It's over, bro. But y'all talk about it in the comment box. Let's get back to the video.
Netflix got scammed out of $5 billion. This is shameful. Ad after ad after ad. 2 weeks before Mania, and this crowd in Minnesota is dead. Crowd sucks. You know, they're chanting yeet after Jey Uso's talking about his brother getting beat up and bloodied. You know, my brother got 15 stitches in his head. Oos. Crowd says yeet. And Jey Uso's motioning his hand like, guys, chill out, stop. And they're still going because these fans are bots. Rhea Ripley has 4 or 5 Raw matches in 400 days, has done nothing significant in any promos or feuds or storytelling, but somehow she's still the most over woman in the division because of goon fans and bot fans that only look at Twitter images rather than what the actual wrestler's doing in front of them on the actual show.
Oh my God, CJAX, cut it out. Cut it out, bro. Now you're being hypocritical, okay, bro, with these topics, bro. You saying everything you're saying about Rhea is basically what Liv Morgan's doing. Okay, you say that Rhea got goons and Liv Morgan got goons. Like you saying that Rhea got goons, but Liv Morgan got goons too. Come on, man. Just go on Twitter. You'll see all the goons for Liv Morgan. Even the pages that follow me back, they love Liv Morgan. I mean, come on, man. Like, stop saying that Rhea is bad and Rhea can't perform and Rhea is bad on the mic. I mean, come on. It's like Liv Morgan. Listen, I mean, Liv Morgan average on the mic, bro. I mean, yeah, she's a good, like, she's good once in a while, but there's just times when she'll be getting on the mic and she don't do nothing but piss people off. Because all she do is tease. That's what Liv Morgan is. She's a tease. That's all she is. She's a tease. Yes, she could perform in the ring. Yes, she could wrestle, but she also be stealing moves, and and they're no different because every wrestler does it. But when you see Liv Morgan doing the Three Amigos, when she's not even Latina and she's doing that, I'm just be wondering, like, okay, when you and Dom split, are you gonna stop doing that? Because you can't keep doing that if you're not an amigo or you're not Latina. You're a whiter. You're a whiter. That's what you is. A white marshmallow dipped in yellow pudding that we call banana pudding ass cracker. That's what you is. Plain and simple. You're cheese in a fucking cracker. That's what you is. That's what you is. You're cheese with 2 crackers on top to the bottom that guys be eating because they're addicted to blondies like you. That I consider you as a lemon, as a SpongeBob. That's That's what you is. And that's why you be laughing too much. Because you got that from him. And you don't even got a gap. And you laughing like SpongeBob. But except you be smoking them cigarettes too damn much that you every time you laugh like somebody's grandma or somebody's auntie that just came out of the liquor store or just came out of Walgreens or came out of CVS and yes, with a pack of Mentos. Just laughing like a granny. That's how you laugh. And you over here giving her praise. Come on, man. Stop it. If anything, Rhea's more sober than Liv. And you over here calling Liv Morgan like better in the ring. She's competing more. She's competing more because she's not champion no more. She's tag team champion. She's not solo champion no more. If she was women's world champion, she would have done nothing but add more promos to the belt, which is great for business, but it's not good in the ring. When you gonna wrestle? Every time you get in the ring, the only time you wrestle is when you're either teaming up with Raquel or you're teaming up with Dom or you're teaming up with, you ain't teaming up with Finn in a minute. But you always teaming up with Raquel. And not only that, like listen, man, I get it. Some people like Liv Morgan because they're trying to give her props and that's cool. But at the end of the day, Rhea did some things too. Just all you got to do is go back to her history. And like I said, stop blaming Rhea for every single thing she does. It's all the bookkeeper that's doing it. Trust me, you think Rhea, if the bookkeeper wasn't lacking, you think that Rhea would be wrestling matches? Hell yeah. She would be wrestling every single match. But the problem is this long-term booking, this long-term storytelling. When Rhea didn't even have a story to tell, just face Nia Jackson, that was it. So obviously, it didn't go nowhere with her. But at the end of the day, you can't just keep saying, oh, Rhea's not this, Rhea's not that, Rhea's not a better wrestler, Rhea's not good on the mic, Rhea's not this, Rhea's not that. Okay, what are you going to start? I hate that you're talking positive about Liv Morgan because Rhea should be getting some positivity too. I just don't understand why people be hating on Rhea, man. Stop hating. It's not Rhea's fault. It's the bookkeeper. Trust me, she will be wrestling every single match if it wasn't for the bookkeeper. Plain and simple. So stop pointing the finger at Rhea. It's not her fault. Just stop it. I'm so sick and tired of people hating on Rhea, but they won't hate on Liv Morgan. After all that shit talking she's been doing, listen, Liv Morgan been talking all that shit, going around here, giving people her ass to kiss. And you over here mad at Rhea? Because the people in the back telling her that, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Come on. Come on, man. Stop hating on Rhea. It's not her fault. It's the bookkeeper. Liv Morgan ain't doing shit but praising Dom and having Raquel look like a jobber. Why everybody else looking like jobbers? Look at Finn Balor. People calling him Pin Balor. All because he keep getting pinned. But he pinned Penta. Come on. We got to stop this, bro. We got to stop this. I mean, listen, I get it, man. But at the end of the day, man, stop hating. Stop hating on Rhea. Hate on Liv Morgan, please. But he won't do it. He like Liv Morgan too much. But that's because Liv Morgan is champion. That's for one. And number two, she got backup. That's the reason why you're not hating on Liv Morgan. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back.
So now you have this. You have garbage, and you have the guy at the head of it all, Triple H, who has no idea what he's doing. Zero idea. Poor booking. Poor segments. Poor building of feuds. A terrible WrestleMania season. And this guy, we're talking about Papa H. Cook. Stop. Absolutely stop this garbage. And I went and caught up just to see what I missed, you know what I'm saying? So I will be breaking that down later in the video, obviously, okay? But the fact is, the amount of Pat McAfee show ads, the Triple H inducting himself into the Hall of Fame video packages, the Stephanie McMahon show ads, you know what I'm saying? The Diddy-esque promo from Seth Rollins later tonight, which we'll talk about that. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What is this? A Bron Breakker nonsensical segment? Come on, man. You know, just come on with this garbage. We're going to break it down, but let's go ahead and start. Now, we started off with a triple threat segment, basically, between Io Sky, which for some reason, Io Sky doesn't have her belt. She comes out to the ring without her world championship. So last week, she had the world title. Now she just got her belt confiscated, I guess, and it's sitting in the ring with Adam Pearce. How? How much more are you going to make Io look like a third fiddle in this meaningless feud, in this meaningless match, man? Why are we doing this? The belt's just sitting in the ring. Io doesn't have it. She's the world champion. Give her the belt. Come on. Representing the Judgment Day, then, according to Adam Pearce, who botched his line. He says, representing the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, which obviously Rhea Ripley hasn't been in the Judgment Day now for nearly a year, but somehow she's still representing them somehow. That's just the excuse we get.
Yeah, that was a slap in the face. I ain't gonna lie.
And then obviously we get to the next part where, Bianca Belair comes out, Rhea then comes out, all this stuff. And Adam Pearce announces there's going to be a triple threat match. And you're probably wondering to yourself, well, how is this possible? Why is this happening? And the reason is there is no reason. This match should have been Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. And if Triple H was smart, from the very beginning, it should have just been Bianca versus Rhea. The two biggest women in the division, have them fight for the world championship. It's sitting there on a platter for you. But no. Let's have Rhea Ripley lose her championship fair and square, and then the person who won the chamber, who earned their right to fight for that belt, now they're going to get forced in a one-on-one, and then that's turned into a triple threat because Rhea Ripley had a couple brawl segments in the ring. Really? It's so sorry, the booking for this, and it's inexcusable. The fact that Rhea Ripley has contributed nothing to any feud or anything, and she's still getting these pops, and these goons are thirsting at the mouth over this girl. It is what is...
There you go, hating again. Calling them goons, but never want to call them Morgan Span-based goons.
What? What has she done to be getting glazed like this? Rhea Ripley is the most overrated superstar in the WWE. It's as simple as that. We know this. We've seen it. And then after they do this contract signing, Io Sky, or Bianca Belair, first off, Bianca actually spits facts. She says, how in the world did Rhea get here? I won the chamber. I earned my rightful spot. I did everything that I was told to do. And Rhea Ripley somehow gets to be in this match. And while this is happening, we're now in America, okay? And Bianca is still getting booed by portions of the crowd. Why? Why is Bianca getting booed and Rhea's getting cheered? Why is Io Sky getting barely any reaction? I mean, this crowd sucked in general, but you get the point. There's clearly some really real bias here. I don't want to say it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's, well, honestly, it might be that, it might be some racial stuff going on in there as well. But the fact that Bianca's getting booed when her and Io are the ones who actually have been carrying this division over the last year, along with people like Liv Morgan. We took Liv Morgan for granted, at least I did. Liv Morgan's so much better than Rhea Ripley. It's not even close.
Cap.
She wrestles consistently.
Cap.
She's better on the mic.
Cap.
And she's better at building stories because she actually has charisma and a gimmick.
Cap.
What is Rhea Ripley's gimmick? Oh, I'm Goth. I'm going to take back my title. I never lost. Yeah. I can't stop thinking about Punk. What is the gimmick? This is embarrassing, man. And the fact that this ends with Rhea Ripley or Io Sky getting her face shoved aside by Rhea Ripley for the same time. We've done this 15 times already now to even make her look like more of a third fiddle. She does a missile drop kick, stands tall, signs the contract, and walks out with the belt. And that's it. I'm done with Bianca. I'm done with Rhea, and I'm done with Io. Until all of these women are out of this feud, they mean nothing as far as I'm concerned in terms of this overall narrative. I don't care who wins this match. I don't care about this match. I don't care who wins this feud, this story, none of it. It's done. Dead to me. Everything in Mania 41 is dead to me as far as I'm concerned.
You don't have no idea what you're saying about Rhea.
Only thing I'm looking forward to is seeing John Cena win his 17th belt. Other than that, don't care about any of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only match that I care about because of the storyline. And this match, too, right here. I'm willing to see that.
Then we get to a fatal four-way, the announcement for it, that we're going to get Bron Breakker versus, Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Finn Balor has one singles victory in the last 8 months, if I'm not mistaken, but somehow he gets an Intercontinental Championship shot. Penta has pinned Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser, and now he's in a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio, I can't even tell you the last time he won anything or competed in anything. And somehow he's in a fight now for the Intercontinental Championship, thrown together 2 weeks before Mania because Triple H has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, and because of Liv Morgan, because she the one that went to Adam Pearce without Dom's permission. You got to also talk about that too. But he don't care, so only I can talk about it. But yeah, put the blame on Hunter, but don't want to put the blame on Liv Morgan for going to Adam Pearce. Dude, just stick to the script. God damn.
This is garbage. What sense does this make? Guys like Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, who actually built the mid-card last year and were doing engaging feuds and good matches and all that stuff. Banger after banger after banger. And Sheamus gets to sit at home and sit at home and sit at home. What? What is happening here? You know, Sheamus and Kaiser did all that last year to be sitting at home and watching Mania from their couches? Is this a joke? Sheamus can't get his first IC belt because of this? I mean, listen, this is an embarrassment. Everything about this feud, this backstage segment with Finn and Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day is old. It's generic. It's dead. We need to move on from the Judgment Day.
You motherfucking right?
We need to move on from the Judgment Day.
You motherfucking right?
It's over. Stop with this nonsense, man. I don't care if Finn Balor turns on Dominic Mysterio. I don't care if Dominic Mysterio turns on Finn.
I do. But it's because of the plot twist, though.
You know, turn around, turn in front, turn behind you, heel turn, face turn, turn. You know, turn around, turn in front, turn behind you, heel turn, face turn. You know, turn around, turn in front, turn behind you, heel turn, face turn. Dusty.
Knife on you.
What is this? This nigga when I say
Probably with a bitch or two if I'm delivering a square. How we get into a scuffle, got my knife.
that's how he said it though.
I don't care. This is done. This story stinks. Then we get to Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria in an Intercontinental Championship match for nothing. This is filler trash, and we know it's meaningless because, number one, the crowd is dead the whole entire time besides like the last 2 or 3 minutes. And on top of that, Lyra Valkyria and Bayley are teaming up in a women's tag match qualifier to fight for the women's tag belts at Mania 41 this Friday on SmackDown. So why are they fighting tonight if they're going to team up in 4 days? That's how we know that Lyra Valkyria is going to win this match. Or at least it's going to end in a DQ or something like that. And of course, Lyra won the match. And we have this 50-50 booking that's so stupid. No one can win clean and win a championship on a surprise anymore. No one can do it. And when they do it, like Io Sky does it, it's a transitional garbage championship reign, wasted off for shock factor, and to be forced into a bad feud. And that's what this is. You get 50-50 booking, and you end up with a stupid roll-up finish where Lyra Valkyria rolls up Bayley again. So what changed? The first time you rolled her up, and then you complained, oh, well, you know, I don't think I can really beat you. I need to prove that I can beat you clean 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. And now you went up another roll-up. So what did this prove? Nothing. This is a wasted... It's 2 weeks before WrestleMania! Where are the feuds at? Where are the great segments? Where are the great promos? Where are the great matches? Where are the characters? Where the women's division in women's wrestling right now has no characters in WWE. There's no characters. Everyone is doing the same thing. All they are is they're not even recognizable anymore. They're really not. Everyone comes out. Their entrance sucks. Nobody's over except for like 4 women at max, maybe 5, and you have like 50 of them. So nobody cares anymore. You know, it's just ridiculous at this point. Lyra Valkyria, right? She comes out there. Woo! 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 Get off my screen! Get off my screen! Your matches suck!
Hey, for that's so disrespectful, bro.
Like, come on! What are we doing here? You get out here, you watch these people, and it's like they have no characters. They don't cut promos. All they do is go out and put on average matches. At least some of them put on average matches or good matches, and that's it. They have nothing to offer you from a story perspective, from a gimmick perspective, from a character perspective, from a feud building perspective, from a promo cutting perspective. Nothing. What does Lyra Valkyria have to offer to anyone? Nothing. That's it. So why? I just don't understand this stuff. You know, I don't understand how she still is in this position of having an IC belt. But people like Maxine Dupree or, you know, other wrestlers don't even get on the show. Even Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark is good in the ring. She gets nothing. What's the difference between her and Lyra Valkyria? They're both solid in the ring, and no one cares about them in the crowd. So it's the same difference. It's like none of this stuff makes sense, man. There's no characters, there's no gimmicks, and I took Liv Morgan for granted. Liv Morgan, you know, Jade Cargill eventually, as she continues to develop and build in the ring and on the mic, she's going to be a top woman. You know, Bianca Belair and Io Sky, and Naomi as well, who's doing really good work. Naomi's probably doing the best work of anyone in the women's division by far this year. By far. And even then, I don't even think she's doing great. She's just doing like solid, and she's still way better than everybody else from a character building and a storytelling perspective. So if this is all a joke, the women's division is atrocious. Then you have Karrion Kross Kross basically backstage announcing he's going to fight with AJ next week on Raw. This basically confirms to me, this is probably Karrion Kross's last match. Like, let's be real. This is probably his last match because he's not doing anything. Karrion Kross will lose next week to AJ Styles or maybe win off a DQ or whatever the heck happens. And after this, we will not hear from Karrion Kross in the ring or even backstage probably for the foreseeable future. And he will be released later this year or maybe next year unless something changes. It's as simple as that. So we can skip over this.
You hear that, G-Man? I just want to let you know that. I just wanted to timestamp that just to let you know that. I don't know. I don't think Kross gonna leave, but unless they're gonna add him in the Judgment Day. But if they're gonna do something with AJ Styles, I don't know what they're gonna do after that. I don't know, but it'll be interesting though.
Then we have a 3v3. This is easily the best part of the night, and this was genuinely a great sequence in the show. El Grande Americano comes out with American Made, and they're fighting against the LWO. The LWO are awesome. Yes, you heard it here first. Are they jobbers? Yes. But are they awesome? Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? The LWO, there was this amazing spot where, what's his name? I think Joaquin Wilde is like running over. He steps off of Cruz del Toro's back or Dragon Lee's back maybe, and then runs off of Julius Creed and then flips like way up in the air over and lands a senton on Brutus Creed. Absolutely amazing spot. And then you have a corkscrew kind of maneuver from the top rope that Del Toro does. Just incredible entertainment. The superplexes and the physicality and the athleticism from the Creed brothers as well. You already know Chad Gable is going to do a good job. Dragon Lee as well. This is the type of stuff you need to do. If you're not going to be able to tell stories, you're not going to have a gimmick, and you're not going to get pushed in the card, then you need to just go out every week and put on a certified 9 out of 10 plus match. And that's what this was. This was entertaining. It was fun to watch. It had the rightful winner, in my opinion. It had some gimmick stuff too with, Chad Gable coming out with the Americano outfit and he gets a rock shoved in his mask to hit his finisher. It was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And this set up Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano at WrestleMania. And quite frankly, believe it or not, this is actually, I want to see this match because number one, it's going to be good in ring from an in-ring perspective, obviously, okay? But the second thing is, Chad Gable does deserve a Mania slot. He deserves it a lot more than people like, even Jey Uso, for example, or someone like a Jacob Fatu who just showed up and he's already been on Mania, once in his one time being in the company. And Chad Gable's been doing this stuff for 2 years now and he hasn't gotten anything. He's barely even been on a PLE in general. So it's like, we have to get real with ourselves. Chad Gable getting this opportunity is actually good for him, and I'm proud of you, Chad Gable. I respect you, Chad Gable. I appreciate you, Chad Gable. I'm proud of you, Chad Gable. I respect you, Chad Gable. I appreciate you, Chad Gable. I'm proud of you, Chad Gable. I respect you, Chad Gable. I appreciate you, Chad Gable. You know what I'm saying? So that's the situation with that. Then we get to Jey Uso's promo, okay? He goes out there, and thankfully, they don't have him going out there and yeeting. He was absolutely serious, which is what should be happening after last week. Now, one thing I will say that doesn't make sense is that after last week, when your own brother, your family member, your blood is getting beat, you know what I'm saying? Your own blood that's with you is getting destroyed in the middle of the ring right in front of your face. In the following week, now all of a sudden, Jey Uso wants to come out and talk on the mic. What? Why didn't Jimmy Uso get beat up 5 or 6 weeks ago? Or why didn't they cut a promo 5 or 6 weeks ago to build this feud? Why are we just getting a promo now after the guy's brother got destroyed last week? If anything, Jay should be coming out there to beat up Gunther and fight him ASAP. So I don't understand this stuff. But anyways, it is what it is. Then we get a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of, awkward pauses like we do with most Jey Uso entrances and all that stuff and, promos in general. And then he basically says, Gunther, my bro got beat up in front of my face, Hoos. And then the crowd, this is where the crowd just becomes annoying. Jey Uso's trying to actually cut a legitimate promo. And because Jey Uso was established as such a joke, you know what I'm saying, and a one-line merchant, that the fans now are just absolute bots. So, they're going to bite on it. Jey Uso basically says, my brother got beat up. And they're like, yeet. And then he says, my brother got 15 stitches. And the crowd's like, yeet. Then he says, I have to tell my mom what happened to my brother in front of my face. And the crowd's like, yeet. And Jey the whole time is motioning them, hey, guys, stop. I'm trying to actually cut a promo. Don't yeet. Don't yeet. And they're still doing it. Why? Because these fans are conditioned hive mind bots. That is what they are. They can't comprehend anything. No original thought. Just, hey, oh, that's a chant? Okay, I'm going to chant. It's Tiffany time. Cody, Raw. Cody, Rant. We are bots. We are bots. Oh, yeet, no yeet, yeet, no yeet. Come on, man. Get real with yourself. These fans are bots and we're all seeing it. This is actually disrespectful to Jey Uso when he's trying to cut a promo. These crowds over the last few weeks have been atrocious, even internationally and even on SmackDown doing the Roman Reigns. Let the wrestlers cut a promo. Please. Let them tell the story. We're 2 weeks from Mania. Just let them do their job. Please, man. Please.
I mean, that's how I feel about Dom. I mean, just because you guys don't like what he did to Rhea and his dad doesn't mean you gotta boo him every time he speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let the man speak. Just let him speak. Calm down.
Gosh, I understand you love it, and you're getting scammed. You know what I'm saying? Being there, number one, and you show up, you spend your money, you want to be happy, you want to chant, you want to pop, all that stuff. I get it, but let the wrestlers do their job so we can get on with it. Anyways. Jey Uso basically says after all that happened last week when you were bloodying up Jimmy and beating him up in front of my face, I realized something, Gunther. I'm not afraid of you. And he's like, Gunther, you talk to your mom. I want you to hug her tight, hug your family tight, and let them know that next week or that at WrestleMania, I'm gonna get you, Oos. And he starts getting real intense and gets up in his face. He's like, I'm gonna take the World Heavyweight Championship. And then, boom, throws the mic in his face, and that's the end of the promo. Gunther kind of looks emotional this whole entire time. He looks like he's kind of having empathy for Jey, which I thought was very interesting touch. Maybe they're setting up Gunther future, doing probably a face turn and apologizing to Jey afterwards and admitting how much he loves Jey. He respects Jey. He needs Jey. He's proud of Jey. And he appreciates Jey.
Yeah, I could see Gunther doing that because he really didn't say anything that night. I'm going to be real with you. I really think that he does have sympathy for Jey, you know what I'm saying? And I think when he wins, against, I think when Jey Uso beats Gunther, at some point, most likely, that he's going to probably shake his hand or probably apologize to him. If not, he'll probably walk away and realize that what he did was too much and, he'll, take accountability, So hopefully that can come. Hopefully that can come.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically what's going to happen. So, but yeah, I don't know. This was a very weird segment. There was a lot of awkward pauses, but Jay's last, minute of this promo or minute or two was actually pretty good. The first half was kind of mid. You didn't know where he was going. There was awkward pauses, but the last 2 minutes were pretty intense and pretty well done. So, I'll give him that. Did this get me any more excited for this match? Absolutely not. I don't care about it. There's 1 week left before, one more Raw before WrestleMania, and they've literally done absolutely nothing to build this feud besides 1 or 2 segments in 3 months. So, I don't know why the heck I would care about this at all. Then you get the New Day versus the War Raiders. This is a moment where I shut the TV off. Why are we getting New Day versus War Raiders 4 weeks in advance or 2 weeks in advance, of WrestleMania for the World Tag Titles, and it ends in a DQ anyways? This is a waste of time and nobody cares about it. It just gets to a point. Why are we getting so many meaningless segments and matches 2 weeks before Mania? You clearly have nothing happened. Nothing is happening in this Mania season for them to be putting out these matches. Clearly nothing's happening. So, I don't care. I shut it off. This match ended in a DQ. No one cares. Now, after this, we had the customary nonsensical Intercontinental Championship Bron Breakker segment of the night, okay? So, basically, we had Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. Penta ends up getting the win, which already now establishes that Dominic Mysterio is the obvious odd man out in this match, and then Penta's the odd man out, and then obviously Finn Balor isn't going to win because he always gets pinned, so there you have that. And then after this happens, Penta gets beat up after he wins this match or whatnot. Finn's not out there. And then Bron Breakker comes out there. Bron Breakker then proceeds to spear Dominic Mysterio, and then he spears Carlito, and then he spears Penta. Remember, Penta was the same person he was rooting for and cheering on at ringside last week during his match where he was teaming with Penta in a tag match for nothing. Now you fast forward and now he's spearing him because Bron Breakker, as athletic as he is, as talented as he is, and as bright as his future could possibly be, this dude has no character. He has zero character. All he does is bark at people and spear people. That's it. 1 week he'll spear the faces, 1 week he'll spear a heel, 1 week he'll spear a face, 1 week he'll spear a heel, and so on and so forth. That's all he does. It's embarrassing. All the potential in the world, and this is what he's relegated to, is meaningless, nonsensical segments week after week in a garbage feud. We've gotten no segments, no promos, no nothing to build this Fatal 4-Way. Nothing! And we're still getting the match anyways, and it's just now being announced 13 days away from WrestleMania, or 14 days. That's all you got. Because WWE is so great, it's so hot, Triple H is so amazing, and this is the Intercontinental Championship story you're getting. You know, it is embarrassing. You can have the roster talent. You can have people who have talent and have roster, you know, have abilities to cut promos, and they're super athletic, they're good in the ring, they're young, everything. And you still can be poor in storytelling, you know, terms and character-wise, because the booker is garbage. And because Triple H sucks, it doesn't matter if you have immense talent like Carmelo Hayes. It doesn't matter if you have immense talent like LA Knight. It doesn't matter if you have immense talent like Bron Breakker. You will be relegated to doing mid-card and undercard nothing burger feuds, nothing burger promos, bad stories, and meaningless matches until he decides to finally book you like a main eventer. And it's as simple as that. Then we get to the actual main event of the show, which was a segment. This segment was actually pretty good in my opinion until I realized that nothing said here makes any sense. Paul Heyman comes out and he says, just because I'm loyal doesn't mean that I'm not gonna, you know, stay loyal to both the tribal chief and my best friend CM Punk. And then he's about to say something else, and then customarily Rollins' music hits and the person has to stand in the ring and act super upset and pissed off or whatever that Rollins' music hit. Then we get to the next part. Seth Rollins comes out to the ring and actually spits facts for like at least like 2 minutes straight. This is the most sensical thing that Seth Rollins has done in weeks at this point. He brings up the fact that Roman doesn't respect Paul Heyman because he left Paul Heyman after WrestleMania last year when Roman fell down and he lost his belt and he lost his island of relevancy. He left you. He didn't bring you with him, which is a great point. And he left Paul Heyman to be with the New Bloodline, who eventually beat the crap out of Paul Heyman, you know what I'm saying, and destroyed Paul Heyman in Madison Square Garden, powerbombed and put him through a table. And guess what? Punk didn't help you either versus the New Bloodline. And so because of that, Rollins says that Punk is not there for you, Roman is not there for you, and Punk only helped at War Games because he wanted to help himself. You know, he did that so he could get a favor from you. He didn't do that out of the goodness of his heart to help you and to help Roman. So that's an interesting dynamic there. And then Seth Rollins basically says, you need to get out of this triple threat completely and remove yourself from this situation and let me, Rollins, and Punk fight it out for the quote-unquote soul of the industry. Even though two of them, literally, Roman and Punk wrestle, Roman wrestles maybe like 6 matches a year, and then Punk wrestles maybe 10 to 12 matches a year, if that. But they're the soul of the industry. You know, don't get me wrong. They are technically the soul of the industry because they're the biggest stars, but let's be real here. Seth Rollins himself isn't even wrestling that much anymore. So like, what is this for? This match is for nothing, but they have to put a nice little wording on it, so now it's going to be for the soul of the industry. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Just shut up. And then after this, Seth Rollins starts disrespecting him and slapping him and like weirdly touching him. This kind of felt like a Final Diddy-esque segment, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it was. It was a Diddy-esque promo from Seth Rollins. He starts touching on Paul and slapping him around or whatever, and then Punk comes up and tries to brawl with Rollins. He gets the upper hand, and it looks like he's about to like stomp Rollins on the steel steps, but Rollins dodges it, and then as Punk tries to run in the ring, Seth Rollins stomps him and knocks him out, and then he's about to go stomp on Paul, but then doesn't do it to Paul, you know, because Paul moved out of the way. He lets Paul go, and then he tells Paul, now you owe me a favor, because, you know what I'm saying, he spared you, you know? It's so stupid. What could the favor possibly be? Paul Heyman should immediately have gone like, you know what, screw you, I'm not helping you. I'm best friends with Punk, and Roman's my tribal chief. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? You're Seth Rollins. You're the dude who Roman Reigns, you know, customarily always has been a bigger and better star than, right? And then CM Punk is a dude who just pinned you clean and then pinned you at the chamber. So what? Why the heck would I do anything to help you? And if Paul Heyman, if the big swerve of Mania 41 ends up being that Paul Heyman, right, decides to help Seth Rollins win that match, it is one of the dumbest and nonsensical booking decisions of all time. But watch out. I'm telling you, Seth is likely going to win this match. Just watch. Let it happen. I'm predicting Seth to win this match officially now, 100%. So we'll see. But this segment had some decent lines and some intrigue to it. But at the end of the day, it was a pointless brawl, and the whole favor thing with Rollins now just makes no sense. Why are we abusing the favor gimmicks? Oh, you have a favor, I have a favor, I have a favor, I have a favor. Stop. I'm done with the favors. It's 2025 and we're still doing Paul Heyman gimmicks and who he's going to side with. Come on now. You know, let's get real with ourselves. You have Rollins, Punk, and Roman. You don't need Paul Heyman anymore. He doesn't need to be in this feud at all. But I guess he's the connective tissue throughout it all, and they have nowhere else to go with these 3 guys before Mania, so this has to happen. You know, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, this Raw was atrocious. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 because I literally had to shut the show off. That's how bad it was. So once that happens, there's no going back, you know. So this episode was absolute garbage. 2 weeks from Mania, may I add, for the 9,000th time. But as always, I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. I respect you. I love you. And I thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
Well, there you go. 2 out of 10. What's my rate? I'll give it I'll give it a 4. 4 out of 10. Just because I feel like the segment with the Judgment Day should have been a one-on-one conversation with Finn and Dom, not a group conversation. You know what I'm saying? But as for the match with Dom and Penta, I thought it was a really good match. You know, I like how Dom was trying to, you know, put a little performance out. I think his performance was good. Versus with Penta, you know, yeah, his performance was good too. You know what I'm saying? They put out a good performance. I mean, it sucks that Dom couldn't win, but like I said, you could do all the frog splashes and the Three Amigos and the 619s all you want, but if you're not strong enough to take down someone, your moves ain't good enough for the strong. You know what I mean? And Penta's stronger than you. So, you know, when it comes down to muscle, Dom, that's important. And that frog splash you've been doing, it's not good. It's not good enough, my man. You need to come up with your own moves, you know, instead of try to borrow your family members' moves, you know? Just like with Liv Morgan. You know, instead of you doing the Three Amigos, why don't you create your own amigo? Except don't have it have any type of relation with the Mexicans. You know, no racist shit. I'm just saying, like, you know, you as a white woman should be doing white woman moves, not Mexican moves. Okay, stop doing that. All right, come on now, stop. All right. Sometimes when I see you do the Chi-Chi dance from Eddie Guerrero, I just really like. Sometimes I wonder, are you paying respect or are you taunting? Seems to me like you're taunting. That's you. That's like, to me, in my opinion, that's not you paying respect. That's you trolling. You know, and I don't respect that. But again, that's besides the point. The point is that Monday Night Raw was trash. Okay. The segments wasn't there. But, however, that spear with Bron Breakker, that was good. Hey, bro. Carlito keep getting hurt, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. When I think about that, I'll be like, why can't Dom get to go through the same thing? You know what I'm saying? But, hey, if Bron Breakker can go after the world title, hopefully somebody can, like, build him up. But I think he might go after Jey. But, again, with the Bron Breakker versus Jey, come on, man. But hey, a good thing about the Bron Breakker and the Jey Uso rivalry that is there was a title change, right? Bron, what was it? Yeah. I mean, Jey Uso won and then Bron Breakker won. I mean, that was the cool thing about the rivalry, that there was a title change, you know? So, might happen, might not. But as for Bayley and Lyra goes, ain't gonna work, bro. Bayley ain't going, man. So, whoever wins. But just know that your win don't matter, because when you go to WrestleMania 41, y'all gonna get jobbed out. So at that point, well, can we get a swipe? Just like you did with Bianca Belair versus Carmella. When you had Becky Lynch come out there and beat the title in front of Bianca. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you swipe out the challengers for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross? Can you do that? Can you do that, please? And whatever. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And, yeah, man, what y'all think about Monday Night Raw? Y'all comment down below. Let me know, all right? I'm out.